Welcome to the Ride of My Life podcast. I'm Caroline Rena, and I will be sharing with you what it's going to be like to go out on the road for a few months while working through emotions and challenges that go along with it. As I develop my knowledge and awareness, I hope to connect with you while I'm on this journey. Good morning, everyone. I'm Caroline, and I'm back again today for day 9 and the big news that I promised. And so what's going on? Really big things are happening, and I'm excited about it and learning about myself and how I deal with things and how I can work through things. And it's really powerful. I mean, I can't even begin to really explain how amazing yesterday was, but I'll give it a shot. So I had a giveaway. I had a leased vehicle, and I was getting very close to being at the end of the lease, and things were getting way too close to comfort for me because it's supposed to happen within the next month. And sometimes it's kind of tricky to get out of a lease from what I've learned and experienced before, because I have had one and I ended up doing it again for some strange reason. I don't know, but it works for some people. It worked for me until it didn't. And then I had to figure out how that all was going to work for me to get out of the lease. Anyway, so what I'm finding is when things get a little too close for comfort, it actually gives me a chance to really just be okay with whatever's going on and not freak out like I used to. And the freak out was more, like I've told you, from, the things that I went through, trauma, all that stuff that really kept me stuck. And I'm getting closer and closer to feeling complete freedom from that. And I'm so grateful, because this is just something that I've been working on for many, many, many years. I mean, I've said 30, so that's might be more than that. I don't know. Anyway, what happened yesterday came close to a freak out, but I kept my cool. I used my arsenal of the tools I have that I've learned over the years to settle, and it worked. And all of this started yesterday morning when something told me to stop off at one of the Subaru dealerships in South Florida. And I'm actually going to, I'll say the name of it because my experience was so incredible there. And I bought many cars in my life, and I'll probably mention that again. But the salesperson and the finance person were amazing. And it's at, so I tell you where it is, Schumacher Subaru in West Palm Beach. Wow. Okay. So just want to throw that out there. Thank you for all of the help that you guys gave me. Anyway, so something told me to stop there, and I had some things to take care of. That's why I was down there. My priorities that I had to deal with down there, I call it third dimensional priorities, 3-dimensional. And in the process, as you know, I've been researching and learning everything I can about van life, living on the road, et cetera, et cetera. And somebody asked me if that was my van, and I was like, no, that's just a picture, but it's kind of cool though. Anyway, I'd also been researching on the best way to turning in my lease, and got a wealth of new information on how things now work with the banks and the rules and turning them in, and how much you're going to get, and all the fees and all kinds of stuff. And an interesting fact is, since the pandemic hit last year, it caused the automobile industry to run low on chips for vehicles, which the computer chips, and that's been a problem. So what ended up happening was I found used Subarus, but they were all older, like before 2000. What I was finding, I'm sure they were out there, but what I was finding was way before 2015, 2000. They went way back. Not many new used Subarus, and especially with Outbacks, and that's what I was looking at. And I wanted to feel comfortable, obviously, with the price because cars are kind of expensive now, and something that I was certified and I felt like I could trust. So again, the vehicle does not look like that, and it is not a van. I did run the gamut of every possible way that what I could do with the lease and getting into another vehicle. The van was an option because even housing prices are going up too, which makes no sense to me because there's so many things happening where people can't afford this stuff, but whatever, that's the way it is. And as I change myself, I see things differently, and it helps me to do what I need to do to be able to help other people, which is what my goal is. I mean, I've told you I'm a transformational coach, and I love working with people. And what better way to be able to do that than heal my own life, which is what this is all about. But I digress. So I ended up coming back to saying to myself, all right, focus. I needed to stay on track with the car first and not think about, because I think everything I think about all at the same time, and I kind of process things a lot, and my brain just constantly going. So I was like, all right, we need to focus on the car. So when I stopped at the dealership, my head was full of all this information. And in some ways I was ready to do whatever came next. In some ways I was still looking at my options, and I didn't know what was going to happen. And as I said, I met the most amazing salesperson and finance person on the face of this planet. They both really cared about what was going on with my situation, my needs, my finances, and were literally bending over backwards to get me out of the lease and into my next vehicle. And honestly, it did not feel like any other situation I'd been in purchasing a vehicle before. And I have purchased quite a few in my lifetime. I can honestly say that these two were earth angels for me yesterday. It was so amazing. And I've owned a Subaru before, many years ago. So I wasn't new to the Subaru, brand either. And what I was new to was the way that I was taken care of yesterday. And I just can't talk enough about that. And what that felt like. I mean, grateful is I'm beyond grateful. So, okay, so here's the big news. After all was said and done, I left with a 2019 certified Subaru Outback with a hitch. And I might add a little humor here, and without a hitch. This still puts me in a great position to travel. And now I have a vehicle that I know will last me a long time. And, I'd be able to at some point tow something where I can possibly sleep in it, whatever. I don't know what that part looks like yet. Not my problem. I just have the option to do it. We'll see how that works. So one thing at a time while going through this process, as I said, I had to pull all the stops out with my toolbox and my emotional, working through all that stuff. I knew this was a long-term investment in myself and my life. And I needed to just walk through the initial shock of doing this because I haven't done this in a long time. Purchasing, not leasing. So I was not good at walking through, the shock of doing it in the past. Now I was more calm and more at peace through this whole experience. I did breathe a lot, and I did it. And I'm moving forward, and I'm appreciating all the people, little tears. I appreciate all the people who were there to support me, and I'm so grateful. And breath. Now I just walk through my next steps, whatever that is, one moment at a time, and continue with this amazing and healing journey on the ride of my life. Thank you for being here with me, and have an amazing, wonderful day. And thanks. Bye.